Hey, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new week here on the Cabral Concept. Glad you could join me for this Motivation and Mindset Monday. Today, I want to share with you one of the most important concepts I think that any of us can begin to learn and understand if we are to grow throughout life. Now, remember, there are two different types of people, and so you have to make sure that you even fall into the category that I'm about to talk about here today. So there are those people in life who are very content to remain where they are currently in life. What that means is that they are good with their relationships, they're good with their health, they're good with their body in terms of the vessel that carries you through life. They're good with their spirituality, they're good with their career, they're good with their finances, they're good in every different aspect of their life. Now, before I move on, let me just share with you something though that I think is very important to understand. There's a difference between being grateful and content versus not wanting to take things to the next level in life. I would say that for the most part, definitely not perfect, not even close to it, but I'm grateful and content for where I am right now in this moment and where I will be in a month from now, 2 months from now, and where I was a month or 2 months ago. But that does not mean that I'm not striving to achieve more for myself, for my family, for our health community. I want to grow to be better for myself and for everyone else. So that's the different mindset, right? So it's hey, you're done growing. If you're done growing, then this podcast, well, it may inspire you to want to rethink that, but it's for everybody else who says, you know what, I could get better in my relationships. They're maybe a 9 right now, but not a 10. I could get better in my career or my passions, right? I could find out more of what I love in life. You could learn more about your spirituality, your connectedness with this world all around us and God, the universe, however you like to describe that. Your relationships, all the different parts that make up who you are and make up your life. So what I want to do is I want to share with you really, I mean, social media, believe me, can be an absolute, sinkhole that you go in and you just lose time. And honestly, it's all argumentative and people are, the critiquing each other and they all know so much and nobody else knows anything, or they found the answers to the universe and nobody else has those answers, so it can be a strange place out there. But I will tell you, there are some real gems. And if you unfollow all of the things that are really causing you a lot of grief in your life and fostering negativity and hatred, again, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, what does the other side think about this particular issue? I love looking at that as well. However, I will go and seek that information, right? And I'm also at the same time, I'm not looking to reinforce any ideas I have except for positivity in life. That I want to reinforce every single day. But I want to share with you, again, one of these little gems that I came across, and I wish I could attribute it to an individual who stated this, but I don't have that individual. But again, I would give them credit. So if anybody knows the individual who said this specifically, do feel free to leave it right in the comments below. And as you are commenting, again, let me know what you thought. Let me know if you agreed, whether you disagreed, if there's any more to this discussion as you listen to the show. But let me read it to you, and then I'm going to actually break down. There's like 4 or 5 pieces that all make up this quote, and I mean, it's unbelievable. So let's get right into it. So here it is. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and sense of direction. It's going to cost you being liked and understood. But the people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. Instead of being liked, you'll be loved. You'll be everything you're supposed to be and leaving the old you behind. I thought that was extremely powerful. And what I want to do right now is, it's a process. They actually just explain the process to you of the arrival. But it starts with this. Your new life, meaning like the new relationship, the new career, the new body, the new health, the new spirituality, it's going to cost you who you currently are right now. And that is specifically why, though, most people are never willing to take that first step. Or they take a step forward, maybe even 2, but then they immediately retreat back, right? Why do they retreat back? Well, they're about to go into the unknown. They're about to do something they've never done before. And that's scary. Remember, the amygdala, or specific parts of the brain, but that one specifically, is trying to keep you safe, right? That limbic part of the brain saying, hey, danger of the unknown. And you don't know what this new health program, relationship, career. You don't know what those things are. That's scary. So that is specifically the reason what holds most people back. We talk about this thing inside of our Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. We talk about the imposter syndrome, right? A lot of people, maybe they were a nurse practitioner, or maybe they were a yoga instructor or a personal trainer, or maybe they didn't have any jobs in the health-based industry before. But now they're going out there and they're teaching health. They're a certified health coach. They are there to enrich the lives of other people. They found their answers they want to share with others. Well, that's scary at first, right? But here's the thing. It is, right? On the other side of that fair is the life that you want and the lives of other people. That's another way to look at it. I do what I do, not because it's not scary. Like if I'm going and speaking in front of 1,000 people, a lot of people feel that tension, those jitters as they're about to call your name up the stage. But you have to go back and say, hey, why am I here? Why am I doing this? What's the point? Oh, yeah, it's not about me, right? It's not about me. It's about all of those other people on the journey with me. Sure, I can enjoy my own path. There's no doubt about that, and you should. I've talked about that a lot on the Monday shows. Got to fill up your cup as well. But look at all the other lives that you're able to touch. So the first one is this. It's a big step. It's understanding that your old life, you can't take that one with you. You have to become more. And that's the next step. So the next step is this. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. Why? Here's the reason why. You've never done this before. You don't know what you are doing. If you did, you would have already achieved the goal. I say that all the time. Okay, so you want to up-level your career or certification or switch jobs or get a promotion. You've gotten promotions before, you've had jobs before, but you've never taken it to this level. It's the same thing as like when you go into high school, you go into college. Well, you've never done college before, right? Can be a little bit scary. But what do you need to do? You need to take that step anyways. But it is going to cost you your comfort zone. Expect to be uncomfortable when you're doing something that will allow you to grow. You haven't been there before. It's literally not possible to be comfortable unless you do a couple of things that I spoke about before. The first one is this. You draw upon previous experiences where you did something uncomfortable and it felt uncomfortable, and in the end, you achieve what you wanted. So it's uncomfortable going into high school. Well, all right. You did it. You achieved it. Then you went into college. Well, scary, but what did you do? You already went to high school, right? But now you might be doing something different. Now you're living on your own. Okay, well, that is new. You can't learn that unless you do it. That's the only way. So you have to realize, like, listen, I'm going to figure it out because I figured out this, and this before in my life, even though I had no experience with that. Now, the second way to shortcut it and to feel more comfortable is to always hire someone who has done it previous to you. And you draw on their experience. So what would you do with trying to lose weight? Oh, you'd hire a nutritionist or an integrative health practitioner, or work with a doctor with specific nutrition knowledge, or you'd follow a course or a program of someone that's already done this with people before, right? All right, so that makes it a little bit more comfortable because you don't need to figure out everything on your own. You just have to do it, and you've never done it before, so this is, again, new. What about for relationships? Well, you can get a relationship coach. What about for starting a business? Well, you can get a business coach, right? So like you can do those things. You still have to walk a path that you've never walked before. But having a coach or a program or a guide of some type, a blueprint, certainly can make it feel a little bit more comfortable. But you do have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. The next thing is it's going to cost you being liked and understood. What does that mean? Well, here's what it means. And I always share this example, but it's nonetheless still true. When I went off on my own and opened up my first health center, body transformation, nutrition, personal training, etc. studio, it was in my 20s. Okay, what happened? Was not understood. I did something that very few people were willing to do, which was basically risk it all. I was taking on thousands of dollars of overhead. I was leaving a job. I was now completely self-employed, and I had, a house. I had all these different things, or a condo, and so that is scary, and scary for many people, especially family. They're going to be like, "Hey, you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to take that bigger risk?" And so again, you have to understand that it's not their path, though. It doesn't make them bad people. Honestly, they're just what? They're scared for you. right? It's the limbic part of their brain being scared for you, being worried for you. And that's okay. That's understandable. Once you understand that these are normal human emotions, you don't have to worry about it as much. You really don't, because you understand that it's your path, that your path doesn't have to be like everyone else. And that's what being misunderstood can be, right? So like if people have never heard about natural health before and they see me talking about all these alternatives to being on pharmaceutical drugs for the rest of their life and just palliating symptoms, well, people could say, that's ridiculous. Pharmaceuticals save lives, but they don't really know me. They don't understand what I'm all about. So I can be misunderstood because I'm out in the public. And I have to understand that I'm okay with it. Because if they just jump into one podcast or see one quote on my social media, well, they haven't listened to 2,383 podcasts before of me, right? They don't know the philosophy that, yes, I believe in pharmaceutical drugs for life-saving conditions, right? But I don't believe in them for chronic-based diseases. Do I believe they help mask symptoms? Of course, right? I believe in science. They mask symptoms. Do I believe that they help with the underlying root cause imbalances that created that autoimmune or other disease in the first place? No, I don't. And of course I don't, because that's also backed up by science, right? So you have to just be willing at some point to say, I'm living my truth, and I understand that it's not everyone else's truth. And I'm willing sometimes to be understood for the greater good of me and my growth and all of those people I hope to be of service to. Keep that in mind as well. All right, the next line is, but the people who are meant for you and are going to meet you on the other side. Okay, so you will be misunderstood by family, by friends, to the people who know you as one individual, and you decide you're going to become another level of you, another part to you, and you're going to explore that and share that. And here's the thing though, if you were to never do that, you would never meet the relationships, the career, the health, the body, the spirituality, the awakening, the enlightenment. You wouldn't have any of that. And you wouldn't get to meet with all of the people who resonate on that level, right? Because they don't resonate on the level that you're at right now. So you don't even know those people yet because you're not running in that same crowd, those same people. And another thing I can share with you too is like, again, I've loved every stage of my career from every place that I've been. But I can tell you right now, from where I am at right now with trying to reach people and spread my message around the world, it's radically different than when I was working one-on-one as a nutritionist or a personal trainer, or even seeing people one-on-one inside of a functional medicine-based practice. And the reason is that, again, my goal was to reach the same people, same amount of people I would see in a year, which in my wellness centers was 20,000 appointments a year. Or more than that. But that's all, it's a lot, 20,000. It's a lot of appointments. My goal was to reach more than that in a day. And that's what we do now. And so it's a different level, and I'm able to affect change, I hope, in a greater amount of people. And I can do that at essentially a cost of zero to other people by simply sharing the information on a show, on a video, on YouTube, on a podcast. And so that's my goal. And the people that I've met along the way have been absolutely incredible. And many of those team members, right? Team members are what help to make all of this possible. So, but I never knew that any of that was going to happen. I didn't know. It was just a goal. It was a hope. And it took me years to get to that. But as they say, the time's going to pass anyways. So you might as well work towards a worthy ideal. And that was my ideal. And now we do multiples of 20,000 people per day, over 3 million downloads per month. And that's not the end goal, right? That's not the end goal. I don't know what the end goal is, but I'm grateful for where we're at right now and continuing to strive to reach more and more people. The next part is this. Instead of being liked, you'll be loved. And that's pretty powerful, right? That's actually a little strange when you say that. Instead of being liked, you'll be loved. What does that even mean? Well, I think it means this, that whoever you are right now is not the full you. It's not the real you. Meaning if you have aspirations for more, you haven't come into the full you yet. So people like who you are right now. They like this variation of you. They like this not quite finished product. But when you actually step into your own, as Tony Robbins would say, personal power, as you develop into who you really can be, into reaching your potential, you'll be loved. And that's because you're letting something that's already inside of you shine out. You can't help but to attract people to a greater degree if you're more authentically you. And I'd be willing to bet right now that most people are not truly authentically them because they're worried about what other people are going to say and think. And that's an issue. How do we work on that? Just one step at a time, day by day. Judge less, you'll feel less judged. It's a really, really big part of it. The last piece is this. You'll be everything you're supposed to be. That's pretty powerful. Because when we think about it, and at least a big goal of mine is to live a life with no regrets. So when I look back at 85, 90 years old, on my way to 100, I want to say, oh, I did what I came to do. And I don't even know what I'm fully here to do. But every time I get a pull in one direction, I think about it for a while. I say, is this really the next step? And if it keeps coming back, I know that that little voice inside of me is telling me the next move. I don't know 10 moves from now, but I know the right direction. And I begin to walk that way. And so I believe that life is truly an unfolding. And I don't know that we ever arrive. I don't know that we do. I think we can arrive at contentment and gratitude as to how I started the show. And if we can have the contentment, we're good. Like I'm telling you right now, like I'm good where I am in life right now. I'm happy. I'm content. But that doesn't mean that I feel like I've arrived. That there's not more for me to strive for, to give, to try to achieve, to give back. I look at it all as all one and the same. You know, I don't know what you need, but I don't need a lot more for me personally. But there's a lot more that I need in order to feel like I've reached my potential, that I don't have any regrets. And a lot of that is simply focused on, is there more inside of me? Do I have more to give to my 2 daughters, to my wife, to my family, my friends, our health community? Do I have more inside of me? And if the answer is yes, like I may not know everything yet, right? I might not know everything that I have to give, but I just have to start with a yes. And then I need to work towards that. Because as you work towards that, in my opinion, that's where happiness lies. If you are working and growing to a worthy ideal, life is good on a daily basis. There's always challenges, there really is, but you're moving forward. You're striving for something you feel is worthwhile. Forget about what other people feel is worthwhile. If you feel it's worthwhile, it leads to contentment. It leads to happiness. You're doing, you are being, you are moving towards the life you want. And the last part of the quote, you'll be leaving the old you behind because you have to. You need to shed that skin, right? You need to shed who you are because you can't take that person with you. They were never ready for that next level. You need to become a new person in order to have the things, and that can be, again, feelings and emotions and all those things at that next level. The current you, the old you, is not allowed to make that journey. You need to actually become more in order to achieve that next level. So let me read this one more time. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost you being liked and understood. But the people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. Instead of being liked, you'll be loved. You'll be everything you're supposed to be and leaving the old you behind. Thank you so much for joining me here today on this Motivation and Mindset Monday. I appreciate you. I thank you for being a part of this community. Have an amazing week.